spend $2 billion on car infrastructure, could you just spend please 1% on bikes so that we can bike everywhere in the city?
Yeah.
As well, so much of the cost of driving is hidden. Don't look at it in the same way as like something about a transit pass. That monthly amount is such a barrier. But when you add up everything that driving costs us, not only as a city but as an individual household. So I think having some more explicitness around that cost is really helpful. Again, I think just building a culture around it. I was really amazed. Again, I went to the wrong place today on the opposite end of my ward. Was able to come all the way here on like 75% protected bike lanes. And I think that's a really great indication of the start that we're making. We just need to continue going. And just over and over and over, the stats are so clear that if you build it, they will come. It is phenomenal return on investment.
Yeah, so you're one of the co-organizers of this. You've been one of the OG family bikers in Edmonton. How'd you get into it?
So going way back, I lived in the UK during my PhD and visited Copenhagen, and there are these things called Christiania bikes, and there's basically this like commune that builds cargo bikes, and they were everywhere. Well, they're not bikes, they're more trikes. Anyhow, and there are all these women especially, but all ages, cruising around with like 4 kids in the front of this box, and I thought if I ever have a kid, I need one of those bikes.
How do you bike with a newborn baby?
So we had a carrier that was inside the bike, which is made out of foam and is quite thick, and kind of, you know, an extra heavy duty helmet wrapped around your baby. They're in a bucket seat. And we also realized that by not driving all the time, we're reducing the risk to our daughter kind of over her lifetime.
How do you use your bike in the community? What do you do with your bike?
Oh, it's our main mode of transportation. We get around with our 2 kids and do all our grocery shopping. We move furniture. We do all sorts of things on our bikes.
Do like a little bit of show and tell on your bike and like show read the bags and how you carry stuff. So like, where do you put your groceries? Where do you put your kids?
Sure. Okay, so this bike here is one of our 2 cargo bikes. It is, this one is not mine. I only brought 1 cargo bike today. But it's called a long tail. And it's because it's got a longer back end. I can carry about 200 pounds on the back.
Can we walk it forward a little bit to like show
sure.
Give it the full.
Yeah. So like we've carried 2 kids on the back plus a Costco run. It's a bit of a stealth cargo bike. And we can tow bikes with it. So like we put a front wheel in this flap here and we can tow the kid's bike while the kid rides on the back. The battery is hidden in here. There's the motor. It's got a continuously variable hub. It is fantastically geeky. And we've got a belt drive to help in the winter so I don't get a rusty chain.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit too then. Snow removal, active transportation pathways. How can we do better?
The icebreaker. Can we buy an icebreaker, please? For all sorts of purposes.
What are the barriers you encounter as a cyclist?
Just a lack of infrastructure. I don't feel safe biking next to cars, especially with my 2 kids. And it would be great if we, like here we have separated infrastructure and that's fantastic. And I want more of this everywhere.
What message would you send to the federal government? They've recently said they're going to announce a multi-$100 million fund for active transportation across Canada. What message would you send them?
That's amazing. Yes, please. More of that, please. That's awesome. We need more bikes everywhere.
How has an electric bike changed your life?
Oh, it turned me from a fair weather cyclist to an all-weather cyclist. I moved. I used to live in Mill Woods, and then I moved to a more central location, and I'm not going to name the specific neighborhood, but I moved to a more central location, and we sold our cars and went completely car-free. E-bikes completely changed our lives.
Wow. Have you ever run the math on how much money you save?
Yes, but I don't have it handy.
Yeah, but
we do save it's significant.
Yeah.
I no longer work for money anymore because we have a lower expense lifestyle.
Right, full name's Emiliano, but I go by Emmy. I've been an arborist for around 14 years, and throughout that process I've kind of realized that zooming out, how can I care for trees if my ultimate environmental impact is magnified by using heavy equipment and equipment that traditionally is used to, as an extractive sort of thing, right? Basically, first thing in the morning, my partner and I will go through our routes. We'll try to see, like, is it feasible? to get there by bike. And then if it is, then what we'll do is like for certain trees, I'll need my climbing harness, and maybe I'll use a small electric chainsaw. But oftentimes I try to avoid using a chainsaw if I'm pruning. And oh, there goes my tea. And I'll just usually use an arborist handsaw and some bypass pruners.
Wow.
Yeah, it's surprising what you can do with minimal amount of tools. We try to work really safe, so we're always, I also train people to learn arboriculture. So
Wow.
basically we can tackle almost any tree with what can fit on this trailer.
About that program in Germany, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so in Germany there's a Carla Cargo program. It's subsidized by the government, and Carla Cargo is just a brand of trailers that basically are electric assist, and they're used for anything from deliveries to trades and even arborists. So the premise is that these trailers can be shared and parked throughout the city, and the batteries as well can be kept accounted for, because that's obviously the biggest impact that we'll have with e-bikes is our batteries, and not everything is completely environmentally feasible if we don't zoom out and really look at the big picture. So
Yeah.
So
Where'd you get your bike?
we got our bike at Red Bike just down the road here.
Nice.
And
And the trailer?
the trailer as well. Yeah, we
Wow.
got it all from Red Bike. The trailer's a Surly Bill trailer.
That's awesome.
It's the best you can get in Canada right now. Like I said, we're hoping to one day get the Carla Cargo trailers that have a overrun brake,
Wow.
so a little bit more safety put in there.
Yeah.
And
So if people want to hire you, learn more, website, phone number, what would the
so
best?
we're the Crooked Tree Arborist. You can find us at thecrookedtreearborist.com. We basically try to service or prioritize a 10-kilometer radius from where we live, which is in Newton. You can find us there and give us a call or a text message, and we can.
I think what's really cool is like, you're challenging all of us to think differently about like whether you're an arborist or you're doing delivery or you're whatever your role is. Like, how do you need the big truck? Do you need the big car? Do you need this? How can you move more nimbly, quicker, more sustainably, and save money on gas, save the planet? All of this together, it's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want people to start to think about sort of keeping our economies as local as possible, right? Like, if your arborist can do something like this, we'd highly encourage you to go with them. Right now, we're the only ones that we know of doing it, but hopefully we'll see more tradespeople doing it, like plumbers and carpenters and things like that. Because ultimately, I think if we start to look at our economy as something that we can, bring closer to our homes, we spend most of our time close to our homes, so why not do it by bike when we can?
Does anybody want to ride on the other tandem?
Nice.
Freedom!